Hi, this is Don Carter. Welcome to this video. I want to show you around the new version of the Serenity Cafe. Serenity Cafe is something that I've been working on for a little over 20 years. It started out as one web page on my website when I first started building websites. Since then, the Serenity Cafe has evolved, I've evolved, and technology has evolved. And so I'm finally getting it just about the way I want it to be. And I want to show you how it works. And some of you have already been playing around with it because you're a counseling or coaching client in the portal now, but I'm wanting other people to learn how to sign up, where to find it, and how to navigate it. And so I'm going to show you that right now. Let me go ahead and start by sharing my screen. And I'm going to make sure that's set up right. Move my Okay. Now, this is my website. This is Serenity Creations Online. It's all one word, Serenity Creations. Creations is plural. SerenityCreationsOnline.com, and you can find my website here. This is the home page, and there's quite a few links for various resources here you'll find. We'll go over that in another video, but if you look up top, you'll see the Serenity Cafe, and it has all these tabs underneath of it on the drop-down list. There's a login, and then there's Serenity Cafe Academy, Theraflix at Serenity Cafe, Oasis at Serenity Cafe, my Iceberg series books and online courses, Serenity Cafe Community, small groups at Serenity Cafe, and my live events and webinars. And so I want to show you, first of all, how to sign in. And so you go to my website, you find this link, and you hit the login button. When you do that, if you look down here, if you're not a member yet, you can become a free member of Serenity Cafe by hitting the link at the very bottom of this portal here. And if you're already signed up, and I'm going to show you how to sign up now. If you're already signed up, I'm going to show you how to sign in now, actually. Just put in your login credentials, and I have a test client ready. Let me bring that back up. I have a test client ready to go. Happens to be John Connor. That's right, the Terminator. He is doing some inner child work on my website right now. So, let me make sure I got the right password here. You can click this Remember Me so it's easier to sign in each time. I'm not going to do that right now, but click the login button. If you forgot your password, just click that link down below and it takes you to a place to reset your password. And if you're a client or counseling or coaching client and you can't remember your password, go ahead and do that because you're already signed up, or you should be. And if you're not, then go ahead and do the sign-in process. Now, when you log in, you'll be here on my portal page. And this is a page that's the home base here inside the secure client portal. And it gives you a little bit of background and some links to some various resources, including the Thawing the Iceberg series, the community rooms, the internet blog, a lot of other things here, and then a little introduction. You'll be seeing this video right here in the middle. That's what I'm making this one for. And so what I want to show you today has to do with this tab over here on the left panel that says My Cafe. If you click that, you'll see the Serenity Cafe, My Projects, the Serenity Cafe Recovery Center, webinars, Don's Office, and Don's Books. I'll show you each one of those in a moment. But also, if you're a coaching or counseling client, you will have access to a learning management system with various courses that are more in-depth or that you can't find anywhere else. And those will be growing as well. And so then if you are a member, there's a calendar here. You can schedule or reschedule or cancel appointments without having to play phone tag with me. And you can also communicate securely with the online messenger. There's an inbox and sent items. And when you message me, I'll get an email that says, so-and-so messaged me, and then I need to sign into the portal and check that. Now, if I message you, then you'll get a similar email that says Don messaged you, so sign into your portal and read the message. That way it's very secure. Nobody can intervene. It's got 2 layers of security, as a matter of fact. And then there's the office button here, which is like the front office. There's a place to check your invoices, documents, and payments. And then shared files you'll find here under My Files. And if you have any problems at all, you can click the support button. And there's a place where you can send me a support ticket. Okay, so let's get back up here and look at this tab that says My Cafe. When we get into it, well, let me explain one other thing before we get into that. You're seeing this right now only if you're a client, or whether it's coaching or counseling or otherwise. You may see this tab up here. This is where your checklists are. If I've given you a checklist, then you can click on that and find out how it works. And I will go over that with you. But if you're a new member, you won't have any checklists in here. So I just wanted to explain what that is. Over here where the bell is, there's 2 messages. You can check that, click that bell and check what messages are there. There's 2 unread messages right here. This is a test client, so I can show you this. This chat program isn't really working right now. I have a different chat program that I use, and I'll show you that in a little bit. This one will become more active when the community becomes more active. There's some other features to this that are not released yet, but they're coming. And we've got plenty to work with right now. So let's go back to My Cafe. You see the Serenity Cafe button. You click that, and there are the 3 primary websites for Serenity Cafe. There's the Serenity Cafe Academy, the Serenity Oasis at Serenity Cafe. This is the free version right here. And then there's Theraflix at Serenity Cafe, which is like YouTube, but there's no advertisements. This is a fairly new platform I've been experimenting with. I've long since learned not to put all my eggs in one basket, so I have 3 platforms that I can use, if one of them as a backup in case something happens to one of the other ones. And they're constantly being updated and so forth. And so far, our Serenity Cafe Academy is extremely stable. No problems with that for over a year now. The free Oasis is very stable. The Theraflix is kind of a new, very powerful website platform that I've had some difficulties with in the early part of this year. But I'm still believe in it and think it's going to be pretty awesome when they get all the bugs worked out of it. So far, I've got over 200. Pretty close to 250, 300 videos up on that so far. And you'll see a bunch of them in here and these other ones. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Academy. So if I click on Serenity Cafe Academy, it will take you to that page. And that page is embedded within the portal so that you can have access to it right here. And it's got all the free featured videos. It's got links to the memberships in case you're not signed up and you want to check it out. You can do that here. It's got a link to the live webinar. Whether it's on this page, you'll find a client or a event calendar and the most recent replay. You'll find all the other replays in this other button over here, which takes you to Theraflix, where, well, let me just go ahead and show you. We'll take a look at the replays first. And just click that and it jumps to Theraflix. And this is right to the area where you can find all the replays. When you play one of the replays, just click the button, it takes you there. There's also a chat program over here on the side. You have to sign in or sign up in order to participate in the chat. Some of my webinars will be recorded or pre-recorded webinars, but I'll be present to be able to answer questions in the chat before, during, and after. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. I'm not sure you can see it because it opened up in another tab. But when you close out any other tab, then you're right back here at this one. And if you want to get back to wherever you are, wherever you started, you just click that like we started here at the Academy. Just click that, and it's going to take you right back to the top of that page. You'll also notice this is a website within a website, so there's links to some of the other places also right here. And when you click them, you can have access to them. So let's say I click the Oasis at Serenity Cafe, and there's all the free series. Like you can take a look at Angie's affirmations or guided imagery or guided meditations. And you click on that, and there's different videos here available. If you played one. Okay, if you're ready now, just settle back into that comfort. Okay, so I want to go back to where I started, which is the Academy, Serenity Cafe Academy. So I click that button. And then if I want to go to the free Oasis at Serenity Cafe, where I just came from, just click that free Oasis button, and you get right back here. There's brainwave entrainment, binaural beats, relaxation, guided meditation, all kinds of audios and videos here at the Oasis that you can use to recondition your nervous system. Many of you who have worked with me as a client understand that the nervous system needs to be reconditioned if we've got a lot of triggers and we have emotional regulation problems, or we've got trauma, or we have attachment wounds, or we have some of those things. Then our nervous system, which is kind of like a home surveillance system, is set on really high sensitivity. And so we need to recondition that so we can develop an adequate relaxation response. And so the Oasis is for that. It's got a lot of different ways, and what works for one person might not work for the other, but you are bound to find something that can help you reset your nervous system and flush out all the adrenaline and cortisol and so forth. Okay, so that's the Theraflix is embedded in here too. You can check that out. You can log in, or you can sign up, and you can look at all the memberships that are available. And if you sign up for a membership here at Theraflix, you're going to have all the memberships that are connected to it in the Academy and the Oasis as well. So I realize that can be somewhat daunting or overwhelming to see all this available here, which is why I'm showing this video. But I'll promise you that if you get in and start playing around with it, you will get used to the system, especially since it's all right here, and you'll find what you're looking for. Now, this next tab says My Projects. This is for my clients, whether it's coaching or counseling. You click on it, then this menu, the whole menu under My Cafe, is dynamic, meaning that you may or may not have these links in your menu, depending on if we agreed that that's going to be a project that we're working on. If it is, then I will assign it, and it will show up in your menu here. Like, for instance, the conference room technique, or mapping habit loops, or completing the LSPMI, or identifying feelings about a particular issue. Just go ahead and take a look at that one. A project is basically a place where we can download and upload handouts and worksheets and other tools that we're using in our sessions. So we download them here. This will give you an explanation of the project, and it shows where the file is here. And this is where you can download it. Or you can just simply open it with clicking the I here, and I'll show you that in a second. You can open it, or you can download it with the cloud with the arrow here. So if you just want to open it, you click the I. And here you'll see the list of feelings that are talked about in this description right here. Now, if you're going to send it back to me, you need to download it, fill it out, save it in your name, and then upload it by selecting the file from your computer, or just dropping and dragging it into that space right there. So there'll be maybe a lot of assignments depending on how much we're doing and what the goals are and so forth, but there'll only be one at a time. And like this one here, though, Ego States, the first module of the Working with Ego States, has several different tools. They're not really assignments, they're tools that we go over in session, and they're available to you right here. So that's My Projects. Now, Serenity Cafe Recovery Center. Many of us know that it's very difficult to find help for drug and alcohol problems, or codependency, or toxic relationships, or childhood abandonment wounds or adult child syndrome and so forth. So I've created the Recovery Center because it's kind of it's a way I got started as a therapist is with my own recovery from addiction and codependency and adult child stuff. And I went through treatment for that. And so it was the basis of my education before I branched out into mood disorders and EMDR and hypnotherapy for chronic PTSD or complex PTSD and some of those things. But the Recovery Center is a needed program. I think 60 to 70% of treatment for drug and alcohol or codependency or so forth is educational. So the Recovery Center is really a coaching program. You can be in an outpatient therapy setting, seeing a counselor once or twice a week, or maybe once or twice a month, maybe even 4 times a month. But in between, you can have the Recovery Center for added support, education for that 60 to 70% of psychoeducation that's available at a treatment. And that can support your work in the outpatient session. So the Recovery Center is not meant to replace treatment. It's meant to supplement and enhance it. To that end, I've created a chemical dependency group, a codependency group, and an inner family of self group. Those of you who know the iceberg model know the tip of it is addiction, and the middle of it is control and denial related to codependency and an external focus. But then beneath the waterline is the abandonment issues, the toxic shame, the contempt for self or others, and where all the woundedness is, whether it's trauma or attachment wounds or both. So there's videos on all that, but let's take a look at the inner family of self group. This is just the page that kind of lays it out for you and tells you a little bit about the private inner family of self group and shows a picture of the group room, the online group room that we use, and an auditorium for the educational piece. Now, some people might be in the same auditorium for the same educational group for recovery, and they might be from the CD, the CODA, and the IFOS group, because a lot of the issues are the same to learn about. And so this group might have a mingling of several groups, but this one is just for people with the inner family of self group. And there will be a password to get in. Nobody else can get into this, and I will be the facilitator of it. And we'll do weekly sessions, and there will be quite a bit of interaction in between sessions with various community resources that I'll have available, and some projects over here, some checklists, and so forth for people who are in the group, so that you can have as much or as little to do as you want, and have as much or little support as you want. And you can sign up for notifications and announcements about the groups right here on this page. They're all the same, so your credentials will probably be already filled in, and phone number's not necessary unless you want me to text you information as it becomes available. But at the very top line up here is where you choose the group that you're interested in. And some people maybe want to do 2 or 3 different groups, but you have to start with wherever you're at. So we'll talk about that in a free consultation if you're interested in checking the groups out. Okay, so all of these groups over here, you won't find any of them on your menu unless you've been enrolled in one. Well, actually, you might find where you can sign up here, but you won't be able to access any of them unless you're enrolled in one of them. You can also register for groups at the group registration page. And that one has all 3 groups on one page, and I'm going to be putting more information on this page about the 3 groups, but they're right there, and you can also sign up right there for the ones you're interested in. Then there's some other ones that are community rooms that I make available for people that may want to do their own 12-step group or their own church group, or just have a meeting of friends or family that's spread across the country. You can use these resources in the Serenity Cafe recovery rooms. And you'll find them again down here at the community rooms as well. So that's the Recovery Center. And then you'll find the live webinars on this page. at least you'll find the calendar of events here, and it'll tell you when the next live webinar is. And so far, I don't have any of them scheduled because I'm still working on the platforms and getting the curriculums ready and signing up people for the groups and so forth. When we do a webinar and it's uploaded to the website, then you'll be able to find webinar replays also under that tab. And that takes you directly to where all the webinar replays are located. Now, Don's office is where you click that, and if you have scheduled an online session with me, then you can join that session at the appointed time right here by clicking that button. And if you want to schedule a free consultation or a session, you can find out all the information by clicking Don's Scheduler. I'll show you both of those right now. When you click Join Online Session, you'll be taken to this page where it's the doorway into my virtual office where I do my online session.